I sit there breaking my heart, but as though nothing was wrong, the music still played on. They crowded the floor.
Hello, I'm Richard Jack Smith of Real Talk Movie Reviews. Last night I watched the Blu-ray of Earth vs. the Flying Saucers, which was directed by Fred F. Sears and released in 1956. It features special effects by the pioneering visual effects wizard of the time, Ray Harryhausen. I'll briefly discuss the plot, free of spoilers, and then go into some of the pros and cons of the film. Briefly, newlyweds, Dr. Russell Marvin and Carol Marvin, played by Hugh Marlowe and Joan Taylor respectively, are enjoying a nice ride prior to a big rocket launch. He's making notes in an audio device and she's teasing him about her contributions to the project. Very quickly though, a flying saucer turns up and gives him something of a bit of a scare. Next day, the flying saucer turns up at their facility where they're going to be launching a rocket, and things take a turn for the worse. The American military, with a shoot now, ask questions later mentality, are vaporized by the aliens. It turns out later on that Dr. Marvin finds on his recording device, which he'd left on at the end of the encounter with the flying saucer the previous day, that there's a message from the aliens discussing a potential rendezvous and maybe even a truce. But things with this go wrong as well. How will humanity fight back against this seemingly unstoppable force? Rockets and machine guns are like paintballs to the flying saucers. For its time, and bearing in mind this is in the wake of things like War of the Worlds and other science fiction movies at the time, B-movies and A-list pictures as well, Earth vs. the Flying Saucers is pretty good for what it wants to do. It's paced well, there's a lot of exposition, we get to hear a lot of scientific speak relating to the aliens, how their vision works, how they use technology, gravity, and it's quite interesting. And for the hour and 20 minutes that this runs, I would say it's a pretty tight package. Ray Harryhausen's special effects are one of the stars of the show, although it's not his absolute best work, though you can clearly see the influence that this would have on Tim Burton's Mars Attacks in the 1990s. Overall, I would say the performances were pretty solid. Marlowe and Taylor are convincing in their respective roles. The supporting cast are up to the challenge. The script is pretty good. Sears' direction is workmanlike. I wouldn't say it's quite in the same league though as War of the Worlds, which came out about 3 years prior, but it does have a quality about it, a timelessness, and that quality was enhanced by Misha Bakalajnikov's music score, which has that all the pomp of a Saturday Morning Pictures release. It's full of excitement, adventure, drama, and great fanfares which will prove instantly catchy and will remind especially older viewers of those bygone times when you would just go to the cinema and it wouldn't just be a couple of hours this experience. You'd have a cartoon, a newsreel, an A feature and a B feature. It would be a whole day's worth of entertainment. And that's what this really falls into. It's part of an era which is long gone now. In fact, I would love to see a resurgence of the type of entertainment that they used to do as opposed to what they do now, where they just slap half an hour commercials at the beginning, they give you an uninspired feature for the most part, and then off you go home. Earth vs. the Flying Saucers is a pretty good film. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. For more film and soundtrack reviews, please visit Betty Jo Tucker's website, Real Talk Movie Reviews. On Facebook you can find my pages, Hip-Notic Movie Reviews. and Hip-Notic Soundtrack Reviews. I am Richard Jack Smith, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.